Hello my friend, in today's video I am going to share with you a few keys to help you stop letting people hurt you. Now in this video, the context is more for emotional hurt, not the physical hurt, not people actually deliberately hurt you. And if that's the case for you, please seek for organization that can help you in domestic abuse, violence, and call the cop if you are in those situations. And this video is for those of us we get trapped in a vicious cycle of emotion that we in relationship. We in position where we keep position ourselves to be hurt, to be heartbroken by. So that's the context of this video. I want to make sure it's clear. But either way, it's really important to address the issues straight on. So in that, my friend, let's really dive in, right? First, I am sorry for the space that you're in. Because in the situation, whether it's by you, by other people, being hurt by others, it sucks. It's not a fun space to be in, and this is the emotional space we're talking about. It's not only that, but you have the awareness that you're being hurt, so you beat yourself up for being in that situation, and minus the fact that you're actually deliberately being hurt. It's also going through the process when the longer the vicious cycle that you stuck, the more part of yourself that you're losing along the way. And losing yourself is probably one of the worst pain, I think. So in that, I empathize you for that pain. I've been there myself multiple times in my life, and I've seen firsthand many of my clients move through it. So I'm sending some love from my heart to yours, and you're here for a reason. So my hope is these keys that I'm helping you can put the stop to this, or at least some progress, some improvement, so you can move forward in life with more power back to your hand. Because when you're in this space, you don't feel like you have much power, right, internally. And when you don't have much power internally, it's going to show up in life that you're going to have a lower self-esteem, lower self-confidence. Overall, it's not really a fun thing. All right, so with that putting aside, now we can dive into the key. It's number one, my friend, is I'm asking you the questions. How much longer do you want to be in this space of this cycle of being hurt by others? How much longer do you want to be a punching bag for somebody? Ask yourself that. Because here's the thing. Some of you may want to be in it longer, and some of you maybe this is like, everything, I am done. And if that's the case for you, great, because the next few points are going to be relevant for you. And if you are not ready, then give yourself some compassion and some acceptance. That's where you at, because it's not my place to tell you what you to do. I don't know you that well, because ultimately you're the only one that know yourself. And sometimes your soul may have to go through with this longer. I don't know. Only you know what feels true. And ask yourself, can you live like this? Can you live with this pattern, this emotional pattern, abusive pattern that you're in with somebody or with people around you for another 10 years, for another 3 years, for another 5 years? Then you know. And chances are, you watching this video, you're probably in this a long time and you want to break away from it. And if that's the case, great, because you deserve it. You deserve to be free from this pattern of constantly subjecting yourself and put yourself in a situation where you're hurt by people emotionally. Now, please keep this in mind. If you are physically hurt by people, call for help. Okay? And you can still watch this video too if you find it's relevant and you like to connecting with us right now. So that's key number one, my friend, is really ask yourself, come to really honesty. How much longer do I want to be this punching bag? Really, I'm asking you. For me, I mean, I consider I'm pretty smart, and I've done the work, and I was in the relationship that I tried to break away from. It took me, I think, almost 3 years to break the pattern that I'm so aware of. So I get it. I get it if you're stuck in that pattern right now. And it's got to the point I'm like, hey, you cannot do this anymore. And I keep trying, and I keep sucking back into that pattern, because there is some addiction to that too. At least I'm speaking for myself. So I get it. Ask yourself that, my friend. So that's key number one. Key number two is to recognize that you are in this situation and to take ownership of your part in this. Because the other thing is, the other person cannot hurt you unless you let them. One of the analogy that I use is that, let's say I have this beautiful pen. Let's say hang on it, right? It is my pen right now. I have my name on it. And whatever I'm reaching over, it's like, hey, you want this pen? And you say yes, and you take that pen. So who does that pen belong to now? It's belong to you, right? It's no longer my pen because I give it to you and you received it. So then, but it wouldn't be your pen if you didn't receive it. But my friend, what if this is not a beautiful pen to have hanging in it? What if this is a pile of crap, a pile of shit? Well, this is chocolate I'm about to eat, but like, imagine this is a pile of shit that I'm giving to you. What would you do? Obviously, you wouldn't. If you with awareness, like, hey, there's no way I'm gonna take that shit. It's not good for me, right? But what happened is in life, we're trying to fit in, we're trying to belong, so we take the shit from other people, we smear it over our body, and then we blame them for it. And we end up hurting ourselves, we blame that person for it. But the reality is, you can always push it away and say, hey, this is your shit. I don't want it in the first place. So let me invite you to remember that. Part of you in right now because you let yourself there. So stop, because you let yourself there, so you can also stop letting people from hurting you by making that decision. No, I'm not taking your shit anymore. Even though the act of doing it may be hard, because if you are so used to taking people's shit and so used to letting people hurting yourself, it's going to be hard to break that pattern. I get that. But the awareness has to be there. You got to take ownership that I did it to myself. There's my part in this. And the same thing for me when I reflect in my own relationship. It's so easy for me to blame my ex and the relationship that I was in. But the reality is I was as guilty of that because I let it happen. Which is key number 3, my friend, is dig into the deeper why you are in this situation in the first place. Because chances are there's some need within yourself that's not being filled. So there's a void in yourself not being filled. So you use this person, you use these people as a way to fill that void, and you are willing to take the punch for it. So for me, there's a part of, in my previous relationship, I was very insecure in myself. So this relationship gave me a sense of security because I wasn't, there's a part of me, I didn't feel that I was good enough, I was pretty enough. So I wanted to stay in this relationship no matter what this person does that hurt me. Right? So I get sucked back in. I get sucked back into enabling patterns. So what is it about you? What is the person or the people that are hurting you? Why you are so addicted to be in it? And this person constantly hurting you. Is it because you cannot be in your own space? Because you cannot own that you are beautiful and you come with confidence? So whatever it is, your childhood stuff, that you didn't get the love from your parent, that you didn't get accepted by your parent, and this person happened to do that for you to fill that void, then be honest with it. Because you cannot address the issues unless you know what the issues are. Because the problem never is a problem. Yeah, the problem on the surface, you are being hurt by these people. But that's not the real problem. The real problem is whatever the driving force underneath that drive you to subject yourself to this situation to being hurt. That what is the pain, what is the deeper pain that even more worse for you to face than being hurt by people? The pain of insecurity, the pain of not being loved, and the pain of being accepted. So your system decided for you. So I'm inviting you to connect to that, to connect to deeper why. Which is the key number 4. Is sometimes you cannot get there yourself. So ask for help. Ask for the right help. When I went through my hard time, I have multiple people outside of me, coaches, healer, people who are smarter than me, to make sure that I don't have my head in my ass. That's what I said. To have my own blind spot. Doesn't matter how smart you are, how powerful and how amazing you are, we all have that blind spot. So ask for that right help. Allow for that right help to come in. And if you cannot ask for help, maybe that is an issue itself of vulnerability. So what is it that you are trying to protect yourself from? What is the deeper issues here? How can you break this pattern? So key number 4 is really ask yourself, how can I break this pattern? And this cannot happen unless we go back to key number 1, you decide, I'm done with this, right? Because you can only be in pain for so long. At a certain point, you're like, you know what? I'm done. Things have to change. So only you can make that that decision. And I'm here to invite you that you have that power within you to make the decision to change for yourself. And there are people out there to help you. Like I said earlier, if you're physically hurt and you physically abused, there are organizations that help you. If you are emotionally feel that you're being abused or in a situation internally, there are also help. There's therapists, there's coach, there's counselor, there's healer, there's many people out there. But you gotta be ready for that, because when the student ready, the teacher will show up for you. And maybe I'm one of the teachers that's supposed to show up for you and telling you this right now. Maybe this is time. Maybe I'm the messenger that's here to reminding you, my friend, this is your time to break this pattern. You deserve better. You don't deserve to be hurt anymore. You don't deserve to go through unnecessary suffering anymore. And in that, please remember to give yourself grace, to give yourself patience in this process. It is a slow process, self-healing, to give yourself that compassion, to give yourself that acceptance. This is where things are. And give yourself that space and time and grace to heal. Now, if I'm happen to be the teacher or the healer, the coach that you feel like, oh my God, I gotta talk to Hey, then put in an application to have a heart-to-heart with me, and I'm happy to have the conversation with you and give you further recommendations, whether I'm the person to help you or not. But the key is, if you're ready, there are support out there for you. Okay? Let me catch this breath, because this, I mean, being this space sucks. And the other side of it, my friend, is feel amazing. It feel empowering to come back to yourself. It's feel empowering to give yourself that power. And I am inviting you to give yourself that power. Only take the thing that you want to take and give back the thing that you don't want to have. You don't have to take on people's shit anymore. Unless, you choose to. Unless you in such a great space, people have shit, they come in and you can like, well, you know what, let me hold that space and I can help you process and deal with the shit and throw it away for you. But you don't have to put it all over your body, hurt yourself, and then blame people for it. Okay, well, that's my piece for the day. Thank you so much for hanging with me and being with me in this moment. I know you can get out of it, and you will get out of it, as long as you give yourself that permission, you give yourself that grace, and you give yourself that love. You can do it. Thank you so much for being here. If you find this video helpful, please share with other heart that who can use this help. If you haven't already, you can subscribe to the channel, set on the notification, and we'll let you know when the next video come out at my AM. For now, I'm sending you so much love from my heart to yours. The good stuff, not the crap, the good stuff that help elevate you. And then a lot of love from my heart and from the beautiful Hawaii to wherever you are in the world. Leave in the comments of how you're gonna stop letting people hurt you. I would love to hear from you. Okay, talk to you soon.